Hello, everyone. Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss, and today we have brought to you by the hat. The hat is back. It's just here for today, everyone.
There was a long period of time where that hat was like a big part of your life.
An everyday part of my life. I feel like people don't understand how I hated my black hair and how I couldn't do anything with it yet. So every winter, I would wear this cute hat. I think it's cute. The brooch is a bit much, and then my tie-dye shirt. And for some reason, I put on lipstick. I felt like I was pale.
I know what you mean. In the winter,
Yeah,
it's like,
I was like, just put on a little bit of something there, girl. I needed to make myself feel better. I clearly still have like a nasal throat, cute sound to my voice. But yeah, so I just like feel like wintry and just like I need to like make myself feel better physically.
yeah,
About how I look.
yeah.
My eyelashes are going really well. I don't know if you're noticing, but
I'm noticing. I'm inspired by you.
Oh, I love you so much. Okay, wait. So before we started, we had to refresh our page because it was saying that we couldn't record. Anyways, no big deal. And then I started to think about like how fun the refresh button is. Like, thank God we have the refresh button. What would we do if we didn't every time something doesn't work, just refresh your phone.
Yeah.
Just turn it off, press the refresh button. Okay. So yesterday, my dryer stopped drying.
Oof.
And I've heard of this trauma through other adults. And so basically I put my clothes in the dryer. I do one round and it's not quite dry. And I'm like, and it's actually not dry, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, it wasn't long enough. Like I need to put it out again. And sometimes that happens when I have like a lot of like towels or whatever. Like I have to do a second like round for it to be really dry. There was no towels, but I was like, meh. So I put it again, another 60 minutes. Let's dry this, bad boys. And so when I went in, not dry. And I was and not even like hot. So it works, like it turns, there's no heat that comes out. And then so I go see Jeff and I'm like, I think our dryer is not drying. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it has power and it turns, but there's no heat. And then I'm like, he's like, oh, it's broken. And then I'm like, there's no refresh button. Like, can I unplug and plug again? Like, there must be a restart. Can't we just like restart it? He's like, no, there's no restart. This is it. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. Anyway, so yeah, so that's not fun. But at least I have my mom 2 doors down.
Wait, this is how this story ends? It's actually broken?
Oh yeah, it's actually broken. And then so basically like that's when you have to like, call people. It's December. No one's coming to my home and doing this for me.
And like that your dryer must not be that old.
No, 3, 4, 5. We had it in the other house. So
okay.
It could be like 5, 6, 7.
Okay. That's like the life of a washer dryer now.
Yeah. So told my parents. Anyways, I just drove there with my panier of clothes that were wet. And I'm like, just using your dryer.
Let's make laundry more annoying.
Yeah, why not? At least though, clearly my mom just texted me that my laundry basket was ready and it's clearly all folded. Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, I told her, do not fold it. Just like put it right from the dryer back to the panier. And I knew she was not going to listen. And I told her I hang everything. I'm a hanger. I hang all the things, all the kids' clothes, all the whatever, except like the PJs and the underwear. But yeah. And she clearly must have probably ironed Noah's socks. You know what I mean? No, she does that.
Okay.
Anyways, it's not even that part that's annoying. It's like, then I have to annoy someone else. You know how I am. Like I'd be annoyed if you came to my house and used my dryer because I'm a bad person. I don't like people in my home. I don't like you using my things.
It's not that you're a bad person. It's just who you are. And it's just that you admit it out loud. I'm pretty sure a lot of people listening are like, oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that the funny story you had to tell me?
My mom is the opposite.
Your mom's like, come over. What are you doing? Drop off a child or some laundry.
Did you want something at Costco? I literally sneak inside Costco. Do not tell one human because I do not want your order.
When I see people on social media
Oh my God, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
Anyone going to Costco?
Oh, my,
and then
I am triggered by those posts. Alicia,
I'm offended that you would ask me
to buy something for you.
Every man for themselves. Get in your own car.
Drive.
Go through the trauma of Costco on your own.
Oh my God. And you know, no offense to anyone that's listening that made that post, but I mean, you guys, I don't know what life you live. I don't understand in what moment you're like, anyone going to Costco, can you pick this up? Literally. And at least though, we're not hypocritical. Here's why. I would never ask someone to pick up something for me at Costco. Never. And so at least, and I would never pick up your shit. So like, at least I'm not a hypocrite where I'm like, I don't want to pick up your stuff, but can you pick up mine? I don't do that. Wait, I want to say something. Every Friday, keep your idea. Every Friday, my mom texts me, want anything at Costco? And I'm like, girl, you can stop texting that to me at any time. I want these 5 things. But if you decide that one day you're like, you do your own shit, girl, I will support you. And she's like, no, it's my pleasure. I'm like, who, where, like, what is happening? You know? Okay, go.
I'm so extreme to the extent that if I actually do need something at Costco and someone says, do you need something at Costco? I'll be like, no, I'm good.
Okay. Other than my mom, 1,000%. I'd be like, I do, but I would never ask you to do this.
Never.
This is a good talk. People? Are we? And like sometimes I'm like, and I'm like so honest with my mom. Like, she's like, I'm going to Sobeys. Do you want anything? Of course, I want something. I'm a parent with 2 children. There's always like, oh, I could use more eggs. I could use another banana. There's always something.
Just one banana? Just
one at a time because it's gonna go bad until I use it.
I like know you. I know you.
Yeah, exactly. There's one banana right now. I had bought 3 and regrets. #regrets.
Oh my gosh, you make me laugh.
Anyway, so my dryer is freaking broken and apparently it's traumatic. But I think it's traumatic for people that are actual adults, not people like me. Like I'm like, no big deal. My mom's there. 90% of people do not have like a mom living next door that's like, I'll take your clothes and dry them and fold them for you. So I think that's why it's traumatic.
I mean, you would have to go to the laundromat.
Yeah.
When Neil and I first moved here, our apartment didn't have laundry. So Neil and I would take, and okay, here's the scene as well. Neil cannot work because he has no status in the country. Neil doesn't drive because he does not have a driver's license. Why did I marry this man?
No, anyone? Okay, wait. That was my next sentence. Like, when you leave him, we will not wonder why you left him. We will wonder why you married him.
He was a smoker.
Nah. Overweight smoker with no license and no job. Alicia's like, this is the man of my dreams.
He was so funny.
So funny. I remember when you said, you know, his on paper, not a good match, not a good catch. But off paper and in person, my person. And I was like, I friggin' love that. I love that. You know? I love that.
Anyway, so here's the scene. We pack our Toyota Yaris with all of our laundry and like drive on a Saturday to the laundromat. The one good thing about the laundromat is you do it all at once.
Right.
Because there's 7. So you could bring 7 loads of laundry and do them in like 1 hour-ish.
Right. Because you have access to so many machines. It's a good, okay.
They even have special washers for big things like duvets and stuff.
People wash those? Okay. This is a great 10-minute chat. Everyone wants to know about resolutions. I think I was thinking while I was driving Noah to work, I knew that we were going to film this or record this. And I was like, okay, here's why resolutions no longer really, I hate that I'm echoing. Do you hear me echo? No? Okay, good. Anyways, it's not like a big echo. It's just like a tiny one. Okay. So here's the thing with resolutions and how they no longer fit with like Jose's way of being is that I think that when you actually decide to have a resolution and you're like not serious about it, but you're like, I think anyone that's like, I want to make a resolution or this is my resolution is because they're like, I want to work on being better. There's something that they're like, I could be better at. Right.
I like
So,
that.
yeah. So I think most humans feel like they could be better at something, whether a better mom, more time with the kids, less time on your phone, more vegetables, whatever. Everyone like has like this idea of like how could they could be better. And then they make that their resolution. And what I don't like about the whole what we've like made resolutions to be is that it doesn't leave space for changing your mind. It doesn't like it's either you do this resolution or you're back to your old self. And it's like, no, like you could, this could be, and also let's be real. When you make your resolution, it's how you feel in one moment, in one time in your life, in one day of your life. Like you might not feel this way forever, and it might not be what you want to work on forever. So it's like, it doesn't allow you to change your mind. And we all know how I feel about allowing people to change. I'm like that with everything. I'm like, you can change your mind. You know, you could say, no, never mind. I was having a conversation with a girl that recently left her husband and then she was like talking about it. I'm like, you know, you can change your mind. You know, you're like, don't let society, like you can decide that you can have conversations and communication and you can change your mind. And she's like, I've never even considered that was like a thing. I'm like, you can always change your mind. You can decide that. I just feel like that's how you stay connected to your true happiness. Because sometimes we get stuck in a decision we made long time ago and it no longer brings joy, you know, and we have like, we're afraid of saying it out loud.
It's the same as why we don't like rules. We don't like hard rules because
Right.
it's like, but what if you change your mind? Like, you know, what if you arrive at the potluck and you change your mind about your rule? What if it's Wednesday and you change your mind about what you said you were going to eat on Sunday? Like,
Yeah.
we need to leave room for people, and that, like, we don't value in society enough that skill, the adjusting skill.
No.
It's just the like rules, the change instead of the adjust.
Yeah. And we really value, like we don't see adjusting as success. Sometimes we actually attribute it to like almost failing. Like you adjusted, you changed your mind, so it's failing. And I'm like, absolutely not. The person is trying to like, it's either happily married or divorced. No, there's ups and downs. You can make decisions and change your mind. And you know what I mean? And I feel like if there's no space for that, it's if you change your mind, you failed what you had said you were going to do. And it's like, nah. Like, I think that when I started to really think about this, and this is like almost maybe I should have saved it for the end, but I think we all have the same resolution in the end. Every single one of us has the same we should have the same resolution, and it's to stay connected to what makes us happy. And I think if we all did that, like every human, if they stayed connected to what makes them happy, they would develop the skill of adjusting, because what makes you happy keeps changing all the time.
But do you know what? I think sometimes where people get mixed up is they actually choose resolutions that they think they should choose.
Oh my God, that's yes.
Instead of what's going to make them happy, or also, so, you know, like more vegetables. Well, I should feed my kids more vegetables.
Yeah.
But they don't actually really want to. They don't value it. Or they're chasing something that they think is going to bring them happiness,
Right.
like being skinnier.
No, and I was just going to say while you were talking, I'm like, I think that a lot of resolutions are a result and not actually ways of living. So eating more vegetables, why are you even saying that? Is because you're thinking it's going to make you lose weight, like at the end of the day. And also you're not even thinking of the work behind that. Like you're going to have to buy vegetables and they're going to have to be in your fridge and you're going to have to know how to prepare them and you're going to have to like them. And that's the part they don't even have the conversation. It's just like the result, like the goal. I'll eat more vegetables, but they're not thinking of emotions that are attached to that or the lifestyle that's attached to their goal. So like, I think that, you know, a good resolutions could be buy more vegetables. Well, that's a good,
Step one,
buy more vegetables.
1 carrot.
Yeah.
See how it
goes. And like, I think that like not even because eating them is like step 7, you know what I mean? Because you're going to have to like fit it in your meal plan or your, you know, your lifestyle. And maybe your lifestyle is like, you're always eating out. You're always on the go. Your vegetables will not be eaten. You know what I mean?
Speaking of carrots, I had the Sobeys cut up carrots, the roasted, you told me they were doing fancier vegetables.
Right.
You need to get a pack of the carrots
Okay.
and you just throw them in the oven. Delicious.
Well, I mean, is it the oil, the salt? Did they put some things in there? Or just,
There's things on there.
and that's why it's so delicious.
Absolutely.
I support this. I mean, you're eating carrots at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're not scared. We're not scared at your weight loss. A little
No,
bit
we're
of
not
butter and
scared
oil.
of stuff. Okay. So you see where I'm going with this? I was like, you know what? I think that because you can have a moment where you're like, I'm willing to do all these things, and then you change your mind.
Or like life happens. You
Right.
know what
Like
I
a
mean? Like,
pandemic.
so you lose your job or you change your job or you get sick or you get a divorce. Like
Yeah.
life happens where maybe that's not, vegetables are not a top
Yeah, I was
priority.
gonna say, like, let's be real. Maybe yeah, January 1st, after you've just eaten 7 pounds of chocolate, vegetables are a priority, la, but they're not gonna be a priority the whole year, la. Let's be real. And like, why do you think? I would say, okay, after you told yourself what your resolution is, say why. Why is
Ah,
that your resolution?
good one.
Yeah, and then like go deep. Answer that and why? Because I want to
Also,
be. Oh wait, because I want to be healthier. Why? Because I want more energy. Why? Because it sucks not having energy with my kids. Perfect. Like we got like to the like real core of why you want more vegetable. So really what you want is to have more energy with your kids and to spend more time. Like, you know what I mean? I think that why look can really get to you more what you want, what actually makes you happy. And it's not eating vegetables. It's actually having energy for your kids.
that was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's like a chain there.
There's a chain. I also would challenge you guys if you're listening to this podcast and you are someone that has set a New Year's resolution every single year to lose weight. Like, have you set a New Year's resolution every single year to lose weight? How is that going? Like, if you're resetting the same goal every single year,
Yeah.
it's not going the way probably you want it to go. So, you know what I mean? What if you didn't set the goal to lose weight this year, but you set the goal to like work on your happiness?
Yeah.
And weight loss can be
Or start working on characteristics or abilities that help you to lose weight. Because you're missing those, girl. That's what's happening. It's not that you can't lose weight, is you're missing the fundamentals of being a person that loses weight and keeps it off. Like that's just what it is.
whether it's
Yeah.
your knowledge, whether it's your habits, whether it's your
Awareness,
language around food, like what,
mindset.
that's what we need to work on. Not like I will eat vegetables and lose weight. I will
Yeah.
drink water and lose weight. I will run
Create
and
a
lose
calorie
weight.
deficit and lose weight. Like that's not good enough. It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
I'm sorry, you creating a calorie deficit and thinking that that's your answer to weight loss is not good enough. And I think that when people say, well, it's more than just calorie deficit, they're right in a sense. Fat loss is a calorie deficit, but saying that weight loss and maintenance and happiness is just being in a calorie deficit is it's not it. That's not
No,
true. It's way more. It's way more complicated. You know what I mean? There's other things to work on.
for
And I
sure.
think those should be your goals, you know? And that's what we're going to do with our members is actually like redefine. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Let's.
So what we're doing in January with Your Weight Loss is we're helping our members. We're actually hosting you guys a 2-hour session that's open to the world. So if ever you're interested in this, it's next week, next Sunday, January 9th. And it's a virtual 2-hour session to redefine success in your life. And we're really going deep into that conversation of like, it's really for people that are willing to sit there and be like, I want to reflect. I want to create awareness around what is success for me. And so that's why we're doing this. And we wanted to offer it to everyone. So it's only $20 plus tax to be a part of this. And we're also celebrating 10 years. So you're going to get a few cute things there. We're going to make you laugh for sure. Maybe even make you cry. I don't know.
Always the goal.
Always the goal. A little bit of all the emotions.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about redefining success. And I would love for us, Alicia and I, to share a little bit about what we're like in this moment, what's going on and how we want to start the year. Like what are our resolutions, I guess. And it's not going to be this one thing, better skincare routine or like that's just not what we're about. But I just feel like naturally where we've how we've grown so much, Leash, that's not where our brain goes. It's not like we have to stop ourselves from having those type of resolutions. They're not as sexy to us. Like that's not, we know that they're just like words, So sorry, everyone. Okay. So I started to think, and my resolution is like I don't even resolution. My goal right now, or what I'm focused on, or what is success for me right now, is I need to redefine. I feel like I'm like redefining my whole like purpose. It's like big, no, okay. It's like redefining my purpose, my life, my happiness. Because what happened is, I mean, we're still here. We're still in a pandemic, and it has changed our lives. And I think that what I've done, I'm like, I thought I had redefined happiness in a pandemic. And I have, in terms of like, how can I be in a pandemic and be happy at the same time? Like, how can I have the kids online learning and be happy at the same time? Like, how can I do all those things? Right. And I feel like I had figured that out like quite early in 2020. Like I was like, okay, in a pandemic, this is what's going to make you happy. And I think I rocked it. So I think I rocked the first 2 years of the pandemic. Honestly, I think I like was very much positive, and I found ways to really fulfill Jose's needs to be happy or whatever, Jose's happiness. And then I'm like, why am I feeling the way I feel? So just like quick update that I am struggling, hate that word, but I need to do something in order to be able to move on to the next phase of accepting where we are in this world. Okay. So I'm at that phase. Maybe you were at that phase last year. Maybe you're like me. Maybe it hasn't hit you yet, but I'm in the phase of like, this could be your life forever. That's almost like where I'm at right now. And it's like, it's sucky, but I need to make peace with it, because I just noticed this, and I just realized this morning, Leash. I am holding on to short term. The things that I put in place to make me happy during the pandemic were short term, because I thought the pandemic was short term. So all the things I put in place, which was like tiny, getaways with my husband, or extra date nights, or, kind of switching things around, or just being more like macro perspective, not as micro. My mindset change, my language change, all of that was for short term. It wasn't long term. This was never supposed to be long term in my mind. So I made peace with the fact that it would be short term. So I started with that. And then I went to like, what can make you happy short term while we're going through this? And I rocked it. Everything was good. I was positive. We rocked an event in October. We went online. Like we just like did all the things. We're rocking the social media. Like, I mean, that's work shit. And then there's life shit that I needed to deal with as well. And I did it. And now it's like, I need to bring that to long term, because everything I was holding on to, which was vacations, traveling, all of that is still not around. And it will most likely not be around in 2022. And it might not be around in 2020. If we continue the way it's going, this is what's happening. And I don't see the end. So I thought I was seeing the end, but there was no, like, I thought the end was this year, and it's not. So here we go. That's where I'm like, that's why I feel like I'm going through these emotions, because I thought the end was near, and it's not, it's not showing to be the end yet. So everyone, my resolution is redefining my like, what does Jose need long-term to be happy? Because short-term, it was tiny little things in the area, spending more time with my kids, like all of that stuff. You see my attitude, but like legit, I'm like, okay. I'll take advantage of this. I'll stay in my, in my little province. I'll enjoy it, whatever. And now it's like, oh, but this seems like this is it.
Okay.
So it's like long-term, like everything that I put in place was short-term and not long-term. It was just like, I was grabbing, almost like buying the purse, buying the this, buying the that. Well, you can do that short-term. Let's all buy the freaking purses until the pandemic's over, that I can really do what makes me truly happy long-term with my life. And it's not close. No, it's not, and maybe it makes me sound like negative. And I understand someone's listening. It's like, no, like, give it another year. I'm like, you don't know that. We said that last year. So I can't live like that anymore. Like I can't do it. I can't. Okay. I'm putting Band-Aids. I kept putting Band-Aids on my life to get through the pandemic. That's what I kept doing. And now I'm not being naive anymore. And I'm like, the band-aids aren't gonna sustain 2022 for you. You're gonna have to change your mindset. There's nothing physical I think I need to do. I need to redefine my purpose, my life in these conditions. And when they lift one day, is it next year? Is it in 10 years? I have no clue. Is it never? We don't know. When they lift, I'll redefine at that moment. But for now, I need to redefine in these conditions because I can't keep putting band-aids. There's no more band-aids to put. I've put all the
Yeah.
band-aids. I bought all the purses. I bought no purses.
Zero purses.
I actually have minus purses right now. Alicia's with me.
Her purse. I'm upset by your purse.
I know. My purse is like busting.
Okay.
This is where I'm at. I think I can update them to any mental changes. It's mental changes. There's no changes in my life. It's a mental shift.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And all the physical changes, all maybe the small changes that you had been doing are a band-aid. They're like, oh, we'll do like a little trip to Halifax, or we'll, I don't know, buy something, or like all of those things are short term.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, we need to figure something out for long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you going to do this? Like, what are you going to do?
A deep reflections. I mean, as always, and start. So, because I'm like the queen of adjusting and saying, nope, change my mind. I'm going to go this way, but always staying connected to the current present of what makes me happy. If I change my mind, it's not because it's too hard. It's just, it doesn't go with who I want to be. And sometimes you think you want to be a certain person, then you try it out and then you realize it doesn't really bring you that happiness. And again, you can keep adjusting, keep changing your mind. What I am going to do is I'm going to keep, like, I've had a great conversation with Alicia. I had a good conversation with Jeff. And I keep getting perceptions of people. And like, I'm like way more ahead than last week. And I didn't change anything physically. It's mentally.
And I was just going to say, I think having conversations, just that is so powerful, you guys. And you know what? If you guys are listening to this and you can relate a little bit to how Jose's feeling or whatever, you know, have you really given your life lately a good look, a good check-in, you know? And it's vulnerable. It's being vulnerable. And no one wants to say, I'm struggling right now. No one wants to say that. No one wants to be struggling. And we can so easily, you could have easily push aside, fine. But you're like, nope, it was this nagging thing and you didn't ignore it. You acknowledged it first to yourself. And then you speak to other people around you that you trust and love. And that's like the first step is to saying it out loud, being self-aware, having conversations, and like committing to figuring it out.
Yeah. And I think that that's the piece. Like one thing that a person that I do not want to be is the everyday 9 to 5, getting up, go to bed.
Groundhog Day.
I don't want that. And I think that a lot of women live that life. And I do not live that life. Like, I don't want that life. So, and that's a choice of mine. I think we get stuck in that life.
Yeah.
And I think that and I think that the people that get stuck in that life do not take the time to assess, like you said, a good look at their life and be like, oh, this is boring. I legit don't stay in a boring state in a very long time. I just, I can't. It's just like more than I'm like more than that. I can't just do that. So that's why I think that's why maybe I have more, you know, how we like make fun of me and how I reflect a lot and how like I keep like, oh my God, how she said, because if I don't do that, I'll be stuck in a certain life because I don't have time I wouldn't reflect or change or keep adjusting. And you get stuck and then years go by and you're like, years. And you're like, that's all I've accomplished, you know? And it's just not who I want to be. It's not who I want to be. There's nothing wrong with choosing to be that person. I sometimes, though, have moments where not jealousy, but I'm envious of people that are okay with that life. Okay. They just go to the same job. They go home. The job stays at the job and they just go home and then they sit and then they just go and watch TV. And then the next morning do the same thing. They eat the same thing they don't do date night. They don't they just kind of just It seems so simple. It looks like their brain. Yeah. Simple. It seems like their brain doesn't do all the things that my brain does. You know what I mean? Like it just seems so easy. And sometimes I'm envious of that, but I would literally, I know that I would stay there for 2 minutes and then I'd be like missing the busyness, missing the busyness of life. I love the busyness of life. I love accomplishing things that, and and the pandemic is stopping me from doing these things. And so that's why I'm like, I need to redefine who I can be in a pandemic. Who I don't like pandemic, who I can be in these conditions with these circumstances, because it's stopping me from being extra. It's stopping me from living the life that the who I want it to be. So do I need to change the who I want to be now? That's language. That's just me being like, okay, the person you want to be in these conditions is this. Because I keep holding on to the idea of traveling and having this like extravagant, like I keep holding on to it and then I don't have it at the end. Like it keeps like crushing, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it keeps moving the goalposts, and it is crushing after 2 years to try and create fun, create events, create vacations, and then conditions change, and you know what is an important part of this story is those things are out of our control.
Right.
And when you guys are searching for your own happiness, your own journey, your own resolutions, you need to be really careful about choosing things that you can control no matter what.
So I want, yes. Oh my God. Yes. To what Alicia just said. So basically you said, where are you going to start? Is I'm going to have to really sit there, whether I write things down or I just like think really deeply. I'm not a writer. I'm more like just like it's in my thoughts. That's exactly what my thoughts were, Alicia. It was, what are you 100% in control of? And, wanting to like the things that used to make me really create like fulfillment are not in my control.
No.
So like I have fun things that I'm planning for 2022 that could again not happen. And so I'm like, I don't want to hold on to those things. And, someone said like, yes, like I feel, I'm so sorry, everyone. So I did a live where I like really opened up with how I was feeling. And I said to them though, the one thing that we will always have control on is what we put in our mouth and how we move our body. And so, I mean, in our industry, when it comes to weight loss and fitness and mental, like mindset and all that, you are 100% in control of that. And because that's all I have right now. So I think I'm going to go deeper into that. It's the only thing I have control of is like how I fuel my body, what I decide to do. So I'm flirting with that idea of like, that's the only thing that these conditions cannot take away from you is you can control how you feel, how you think, how so I'm really going into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
where I'm at, everyone.
Are you going to become a vegan?
Oh my God. Never. That's not who I want to be. Oh my goodness. All right. It's heavy, but it is what it is. That's where I'm at right now.
I mean, thank you for being vulnerable with us and sharing that. And I'm sure that we are going to want an update. And I'm sure a lot of people in the world right now are feeling a little meh about the fact that we're rolling into year 2 and things are just ramping up again.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why there's no like end in sight.
Increasing.
Yeah, there's no end in sight. No one knows, not even the like people that should know things. They don't know.
No one knows.
So that's why I'm like, okay. And I do feel like there is no way that I am the only human that is not like, I need to redefine me. I need to redefine in these conditions and these circumstances, because this could be it. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone.
Absolutely. So you know what, guys, when you're planning your resolutions, maybe don't say, I'm going to go to the gym 5 times, because what happens if your gym closes? Like that could happen. Like gyms could close again.
Yeah.
So we need to really think about setting goals for ourselves that we can do no matter what, that we are in control of.
Yeah. Your resolution can be, I can watch 10 hours on Netflix. They can't take away the internet.
Thank God.
Oh my goodness. See, like, and it's almost like you can't be like, well, what makes me happy is, hang out with my friends. They could also take that away. It's actually insane. So you really have to be like, what am I in control of?
It's really stripping everyone down.
Yeah, it
We're
really is.
just naked.
Just naked. Everyone's like,
Naked in the streets.
so tell me about you. Like, how are you? So that was, thank you everyone for listening to Jose's life. Leash, it's your turn. Like, so I left you like what, 5 minutes to think of your resolution. We did talk about it last week when we said, okay, we need to get ready and know what we were going to say. But just to be transparent, everyone, we did not have a direct path to sharing with you what our resolutions are, because we're just like, like that's like basically like when you talk about resolutions, nothing really comes up that is very clear because the future is not clear.
I
Maybe
also
that's
think
why.
for me, it's probably the first year that I don't have a weight loss resolution. Like I finally just like accepted that I'm on maintenance and it's awesome and I love my life. And I've really accepted my body a lot this year too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, I just have, there's been a lot of acceptance. So that is incredible to not be like, I'm going to lose that last 10 pounds. This is the year. That's bullshit. I'm done with that.
I
You
love that.
know, it's really nice,
Doesn't
really
it feel
fun.
good? I'm like year 3, I think, of no longer resolutions and just being whatever. And I was just waiting for you to join me.
I know. Actually had been on maintenance for like this would be going to my 4th
Yeah,
year.
but you had just not accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just accepting. It's not that my body is done, and it's that I'm done. That like I love my lifestyle, and I would have to compromise my lifestyle in order to lose more weight, and I'm just not willing to do that.
Yeah.
Right now, I can change my mind.
Yes, you can.
I don't know. Like I have some like boring ones, but I feel like that's not the vibe of this.
No, everyone loves boring ones. They just looked at all of my reflections and emotions. Now they need tangible.
Okay.
They love it.
So my kids.
Okay.
Kids,
Are you making resolutions for your kids?
Absolutely. Well, it's all about me, right? I'm the boss.
Right.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Alfie and Piper have really like they have little dots all over their skin.
Okay.
And it's almost turning into like Piper had a pimple yesterday.
Okay.
So they wash their face, but I feel like we need to be more intense.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure people have tips for me. It's like a real thing. It's called chicken skin.
Right. Okay.
I've asked about it before, but it's like so overwhelming. Like the suggestions, it's almost worth. I almost think I want to take Alfie to a dermatologist just to like get them to see it now before he gets older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So face washing.
Okay.
I would like to be more active as a family.
Okay. Yes. You like kind of like dripped that yesterday when you said like maybe you could go skating. I'm like, what's happening?
So I am obviously a very active person. I walk probably
yeah. It's not about you, Ula. As a family.
Yeah, not about me, but I find as a family, you know, most of our hobbies are drinking and eating and shopping. Like we don't have like other hobbies as a family. Like we're not a super sporty family, so we're not like at hockey, we're not at dance, and also the pandemic. I don't want to sign the kids up for sports right now because it just gets canceled.
Yeah.
So I'm removing that. I'm like, what am I in control of? So I want to learn to skate better this year.
Okay.
Phoebe's going to be the only one that probably does it with me.
Yeah.
But at least I can start with that.
Okay.
Snowshoeing. I also like it's winter. Like we're quite more active in the summer, right? We're hiking, we're camping, we're whatever. In the winter, how can I be more active with my family in the winter? I see people skating with their family. I'm like, that looks fun. That looks fun to me.
Yeah.
So that's one of them.
Can your kids skate?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Everyone needs to learn. So it's not just about, I want to go skate with step 1, learning how to skate.
I am probably the best skater of all 5 in our family.
I was going to say, I feel like that's the situation here.
Yeah. I mean, Neil's British, so he did not grow up skating.
Right.
And the kids just haven't been exposed to it.
Yes. No. Oh yeah. And they learn so quickly.
But our friend Josh is building a rink in his backyard.
Ooh, that's fun.
So that's really fun because that we can do. That shouldn't be taken away from us. Even if we can't see them, they can stay in their house and we can wave at them and skate on their rink.
Yes. Don't even get me.
So that's like something that I've been
Okay,
thinking
I
of.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to get off my phone a bit more too. I find that in the evening, it's like I tell myself I'm working, but I'm not really working on my phone. And then I'm just scrolling social media.
Okay.
I'm spending too much time doing that a
Okay.
lot. I do work a lot on my phone, but I don't need to do it then.
Yeah.
And I want to put my phone away and read a little bit more before I go to bed. I want to be the person that reads.
Before bed.
I do.
I
I
love that.
used to read all the time. I love reading. I love learning. I love taking in content.
Yeah.
Right?
You do.
I do.
What kind
I
of
just
books would you
haven't
read?
prioritized it.
What kind of books would you read?
Like
Content books or like a love story?
no love stories.
You should. So fun.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, I just haven't really tried
It
it.
would, you know, it would because when you're taking in content, you're always thinking about how you can use it.
You're so right.
Whereas like when you're just like reading like a story, um, you can it just like shuts all of that. There's nothing for you to do. You
You're
know what I
so
mean?
right.
You don't have a role here.
You're so right.
Yeah.
That's
I think that's why sometimes when you can't sleep, you're just like taking in so much content
I
and you're
know.
like wondering how you're gonna use it in your
Yeah,
life.
you're
Know what I
so
mean?
right. I'm like manipulating it,
Yeah.
changing it into your weight loss.
Like you
How
couldn't even enjoy the Disney movie yesterday. It was so good because it wasn't productive, you said.
I am.
Because that was not taking content. What were you gonna do? You know what I mean? Have magic like them?
Like that is one of my strongest like the strongest human desires for me. The thing that fills my bucket the most is extreme productivity.
Yes, I know.
Like I even when I'm driving on cruise control, I feel like I should be doing something else.
Oh, okay.
Like there's an opportunity here to do something else.
Yeah, I should be able to be on my phone, make a post.
Yes.
No, I mean, I totally understand.
Anyway, so just like some fun little things. I would like to get a little bit out of my comfort zone and try something new to move my body. Like I wanted
I
to.
know you've been saying that for a little bit.
Yeah, I stopped the gym. I just wasn't showing up.
Yeah,
I wasn't making it a priority. I wasn't enjoying it as much as I used to. And I needed to just like accept that.
yeah.
Loving walking. I've been so consistent in December with walking.
It's because you love it so much. Like, it's not hard being consistent with something that you actually enjoy, you guys. Please
Like
learn
it's
from that.
actually insane how many kilometers I've done in December.
Yeah, no, huge. Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to do like more. I want to try something new. Like, do I want to try yoga?
Right.
How
And
will I
then
know unless I try?
I know exactly. And then you started knowing that they could close the yoga studio.
I know that's the part that's holding me back a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And I don't love working out at home, but maybe I need to redefine what I like. Gross.
Yeah, no, absolument, absolument. So I guess the answer right now is like we're not sure where we're going with all of this. We just know there's like improvements that we would love while we're talking about the conversation of resolutions. And like I said, every human is like I could be better at something. So I mean, we are in the industry that we do talk about resolutions, and I freaking love it. I love it. I love, yeah, like even if I was not Jose from Your Way Weight Loss, I would be having conversations with myself of how I want to be better. And I think that's why we are successful.
I agree.
You know, it's not because we have the proper ones or whatever. It's just that we actually stay connected all year round, even in December. So just because it's January 1st, it's not the first time we're having conversations with ourselves about what makes us happy. Lo. To be happy all year, you have to stay connected to what makes you happy all year in the summer, in this and this and this condition and whatever. So, guys.
And like we're really focusing with our members this year on this year. Like we're really like,
Yes.
you know, we're really we've created some templates and like we're really going to show up on the community group every month. Like, okay, everyone.
Hello, it's the first of the month. How are we doing? How are we
doing? How did that go? How did your goals go? Can we tweak? Can we adjust? What went well? What didn't go well? Because guys, you need time.
Yeah.
You need time. Like we are challenging.
You deserve time.
You deserve to experience real life while working on your happiness, and that needs time. So we're really encouraging people to not do the sexy 6-day shred, 10-week challenge, 75 days hard. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. And we're saying, how about you give yourself a year? You give yourself 4 seasons. You give yourself an opportunity to struggle, for it to go well, for you to be disappointed, for you to be excited. Like we need an opportunity to experience life.
Like, let's not start a diet this year. Like, let's not do that.
It's just,
Okay.
guys,
Yeah, it's no longer what you want. Let's be like, let's just say it all out loud. No one wants to start a diet, but a lot of people do want to lose weight.
and
And
if you want weight loss, you do not have to have a diet in order to lose weight, you guys.
oh my gosh.
It's not the only way.
Yeah. Like we really highly recommend a year's worth of transformation, inside and out, and going through all those seasons and all those anniversaries, birthdays, vacations, whatever. Like you need to live those emotions. You need to live the ups and downs. You cannot just stay stuck in the beginning of the year. The rest of the year exists, you guys. You have to include it in your life from the get-go.
And
Join us for a year.
we think a year feels so long. We think it feels so long,
Oh
but
my God, it's a
on the
fly.
community group, people are celebrating their 1-year anniversary,
Yeah.
and it's actually incredible. Physical transformation, but also mental transformation.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you want me to give a year, but then you see this and you're like, look what could happen in 1 year. Like
Yeah.
you blink and a year of your life could be gone. Look what you could accomplish.
And like most programs that you join aren't set up to entertain you for a year. Does that make sense? They're just here to like kind of change your life from the get-go. They have like a 6-12 week, whatever, and then it's like goodbye. I just want you to know that like our main focus at Your Weight Loss is showing up so that we can help you stay connected to who you want to be in that moment. Not necessarily the who you said you wanted to be in January, but getting you to stay connected and getting the success we're getting, you guys. And that's how we end up a year. Every year we end the year feeling proud of our year. Why? Not because we accomplished ridiculous, amazing things. It's that we stayed connected all year. So we don't feel like the year just like slid under our feet, under our nose, under our, when something slides, sous ton nez, we say sous ton nez. Would it be the same in English? Under your nose?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like I don't end the year and I'm like, I didn't accomplish anything. No, stay connected, felt happy all year. Right. And because I stayed connected to what made me happy and I adjusted. Oh my God. Apparently we're still continuing.
That was traumatic.
That was so traumatic. I mean, they just went through it with us. I almost had a moment of like, of course this would
You know
happen.
what? I think that Be Live is telling us, stop talking, you two.
Stop talking. Yeah,
Stop
everyone
talking.
gets it. Okay, everyone. So linked in this podcast is a ticket, the tickets to join us for the virtual online Redefine Your Success in 2022 meeting with J&A. And it also has the link to join us for a year. And we really do hope that you're going to give yourself this time, and this time will be different. Just probably joining for a year is different.
I was going to say, just that is different.
Yeah. We love you. We appreciate you. Follow us everywhere. Share with your friends. Like us. Tag us in your things. Subscribe. Give us a 5-star. We love you. And you know what, guys? Happy New Year. Oh my God.